Hello lads, lassies, and those of unspecified gender, it's the Irishman here, and today I'm going to be talking about what would have happened if Goku had the ultimate form. This is the third part to this What If, and if you have not already seen the other two parts, I would greatly recommend you go check those videos out before coming back to this one. Seeing as this all takes place in what would be the future timeline, there wouldn't actually be any real threats for quite some time. You could argue that the only reason Babidi didn't go to Earth sooner in the future Trunks timeline is because there weren't any strong people to sap the energy of, but I doubt there were any people out in space stronger than a Super Saiyan Gohan or Trunks, even from the future timeline. So I don't really see any reason why Babidi just skipped over Earth in the future timeline and didn't in the original. So we're going to say that things do go basically the same for the future timeline events. Except there is one key difference though. An arc that didn't take place in the future timeline that would still happen here, because we do have concrete reasoning as to why it didn't in the future. Resurrection F. See, we know for a fact that the Buu Saga happens far later on in the future Trunks timeline, and as for why Battle of Gods never happened, well, it's because Beerus woke up and decided he didn't want to fight a Super Saiyan God. We don't know why, but it's probably because Toriyama hadn't thought of Beerus or any other gods until Super came out, which was long after the future Trunks epilogue. So, really, Beerus just doesn't wake up here, and instead we skip right to Resurrection F. And although none of our fighters have God Ki, that might not be a problem. I reason that Goku with the ultimate form should have comparable potential to Gohan with the ultimate form in terms of training proficiency. And considering that in 2 years, Gohan went from being barely comparable to really anyone else in the Z cast to being able to fight alongside Super Saiyan Blue Goku, well, that means Gohan's potential is cracked out, which we all knew, but this just kind of goes to show how insane Gohan would be if he continued to train. The 2-year span I'm referring to is from Resurrection F to the Tournament of Power, and although you could say that Gohan should not be comparable to Super Saiyan Blue Goku just because of how they fought before the tournament, seeing as we did still get the Krillin shenanigans, Gohan in the manga actually was the one to take down Kefla, so if you really wanted to, you could scale him to Ultra Instinct Sign Goku in the tournament. Although, I more likely than not would scale Gohan to Goku in Super Saiyan Blue, rather than Ultra Instinct just because I feel like it's more grounded. So, either way, Ultimate Gohan equal to or greater than Super Saiyan Blue Goku, which is crazy, but Gohan's potential, like I said, is cracked out. And then, after just a few more months, or I guess a few more years of training, Gohan unlocked the Beast form, which I'm not saying Goku would get here, but he would at least get to comparable levels of power. And considering we can scale Gohan Beast in the same realm of power as Broly and Gogeta from the Broly movie, well, that's pretty crazy. Cell Max, if he was perfect, was stated to be as strong as Broly in his full power Super Saiyan state. Of course, Cell Max wasn't perfect, and Gohan Beast was only able to one-shot him because he was using an armor-piercing attack on a point that was stated to be a weak spot for Cell Max and had already been damaged, but the point still remains that Gohan should still be somewhere in the same realm of power as those heavy hitters. Therefore, Goku should be in that same realm of power with just his ultimate form, and then he can stack Kaioken on top, and I don't think Golden Frieza stands much of a chance here, especially since he might not train as much, seeing as we wouldn't have the same statements of Goku and the rest of the gang fighting against Majin Buu, which is probably why Frieza trains so much, if at all. But enough power scaling, let's actually get into how the story of this arc would actually look. Frieza would arrive back on Earth after his 4 months of training, and would begin terrorizing cities, killing countless people to try and get the attention of Goku, Vegeta, and that violet-haired boy that killed him all those years ago. Although, much to his surprise, the first person to arrive isn't any of those three. Rather, it's Gohan, who would stare Frieza down with the coldest death stare possible, before then powering up into Super Saiyan 2, and with one concise blast, removing all of Frieza's 1,000 soldiers from the battlefield, aka murdering them in cold blood. Gohan is not messing around here. Frieza would give his signature chuckle, before then asking who this other spiky-haired kid is. Keep in mind, Gohan would still be an adult, but in comparison to Frieza, he's still just a child. And Gohan would mutter, saying that he is no mere boy. He is Son Gohan, the person who is going to put an end to Frieza's tyranny once and for all, before then powering up with a loud screech into Super Saiyan 3, a form he would have only recently accessed and perfected, and of course they were going to have to perfect it or else it's a useless form. Either way, Gohan would look insane, as well as actually putting Frieza in his place a bit, fighting against First Form Frieza and absolutely mollywomping him. But then, Frieza would transform into his final form, and give Gohan far more trouble than he could ever have predicted. Frieza is pretty dang strong, and after landing Gohan on the ground, stomping on his head, he would grin maniacally, saying that it doesn't matter who Gohan is, if he isn't Son Goku, then he can't do anything to him, ignoring how Trunks killed him before because that was just humiliating. But then with a sudden explosion of ki, Gohan would launch Frieza off of him, before then standing back up, and as a tail protrudes from his lower back, he would say that he isn't Goku. He might not be able to kill Frieza, but he'll at least be able to buy them some time. Goku and Vegeta would have been preparing in the hyperbolic time chamber prior to Frieza's arrival, seeing as Jocko had still warned the group an hour before he arrived. Goku, knowing what kind of threat Frieza might be, would decide to not take any chances, having Gohan hold him off and possibly take him down, while Goku and Vegeta get to their absolute peak fighting strength to take down the tyrant. And as Gohan begins to transform once more, his body would be covered in red crimson fur, looking at Frieza and saying that this is the climax of a Saiyan's power. This is true Super Saiyan might, before then powering up a Masenko and hitting Frieza point blank. Although, once the smoke clears from the attack, Frieza would be in his own new transformation, his golden form, saying that if that is the almighty power of a true Super Saiyan, then this is the true power of the Grand Emperor Frieza. The two would then run the ones for quite some time, but it doesn't seem like Gohan is going to be able to hold up much longer. But then, suddenly, a new fighter would enter the fray, giving Gohan a Senzu-bean and telling him to stay on the sidelines, but making sure to say that he did good. This person is none other than Gogeta. Although, realistically, Goku in his own ultimate form should have been strong enough to take down Golden Frieza, I didn't want to just have him come in and fight off Frieza again. I feel like that wasn't really fair because that's how the movie already happened, and here, Goku would have a way easier time. One and done. Instead, we're going to have Goku and Vegeta fuse. Vegeta's Super Saiyan 4 form mixed with the ultimate form of Goku. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta with a blinding white light around him. The ultimate Super Saiyan 4 has entered the battlefield and is now going to begin his match with Frieza. The two fighters would start off hand to hand, before then escalating into a who has the bigger beam competition. But then they would remain somewhat tame while still fighting each other. Gogeta would realize Frieza's main flaw here, and the fact that his stamina just keeps giving out. He cannot continue to fight like this because he is getting weaker the more the fight goes on, while Gogeta is actually not suffering from anywhere near the same issue. Instead, Gogeta is actually getting stronger. The more the fight rages on, Goku and Vegeta's power merges better and better. So Frieza is kind of screwed, and he realizes this very quickly. He would know that he can't take advantage of Vegeta's ego or Goku's stupidity, because this fighter doesn't have either, and it's not like the form would actually wear out anytime soon, as Gogeta, or Goku and Vegeta prior to fusing, would have actually mastered the fusion dance, having 1 hour, or at least somewhere around there, inside of the Room of Spirit and Time, so they would have probably mastered the fusion dance before actually deciding to use it against Frieza. All in all, things just aren't going good for the Frost Demon, and so, with one final attempt at a trump card, Frieza would have Sorbet do the sneak attack, although Vegeta would never let himself get caught by this, and so neither would Gogeta, not letting his guard down for a second, and swiping away the blast before then launching his own at Sorbet, killing him in an instant. Although, being fed up with the bloodshed, Vegeta's anger being tempered a bit by that, Frieza would actually be offered a chance to be let go. Although he would still attempt to destroy the planet, Gogeta would tell him that that's a fruitless effort, and if he does, then he isn't getting any second chances. So, Frieza, with his tail between his legs, would actually decide to take Gogeta up on his offer, leaving and not actually attempting to destroy the Earth, as he knows he wouldn't be able to get away with it. Because of the clash of these two incredibly powerful beings, Beerus would actually be alerted of the presence of the Saiyans on Earth, and so he would go to the planet with Whis in tow, and after talking to Goku and Vegeta there, they would decide to actually train under the God of Destruction, who wouldn't actually need any showing of a Saiyan's incredible power, as when Goku and Vegeta arrive on the God of Destruction's planet, they would be met by Broly, Beerus's first student. And that's where we're going to be leaving things off for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this, as I certainly enjoyed making it, and I am sorry for the wait. It wasn't my intention to actually keep you guys waiting for like 3 weeks, and if I could have released something sooner, I would have, but school's kind of been kicking my butt, and a lot of personal problems. Either way, I do expect to upload a lot more, and I hope you guys will enjoy all of the new videos. Until next time, this is, always has been, and always will be the Irishman. Talk to you later. Bye.